Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be continuing chapter number 7, that is array. In first part, we saw that what is array, why do we need array, and what are the types of arrays. So first of all, if you haven't watched the previous video, then please do watch the video before continuing to this one. Now coming back to the topic, the first type of array is single dimensional array. In single dimensional array, we already saw that the values will be stored in one single type of stack, that is in one single direction. And now I will show you how we can create this single dimensional array. So the syntax here states that first we have to write the data type, then we have to write the variable, or we can say the array name that we want, which can store multiple datas. After that we have to make use of square brackets equals to new, because we are creating an array and this will allocate the memory to this array. So new will create the memory, and then the data type, the same which we are using over here, and then the size of the array that we want. Or there is another method, simply these brackets can be written before the array name also. Both this syntax creates the same array. So it depends upon you which type of, by which method you want to create an array. If I have to give example, then I will write int brackets equals to new int, and we will mention the size of the array. This 10 means that it can store a maximum of 10 integer values. A maximum. It is not compulsory that we have to write 10 integer values only, but it can store maximum of 10 values. It can even store 3 values, 4 values, but the maximum limit given is of 10. So this was the example that how we can create an array of single dimension. So this is the example which I already covered before. And now how to initialize an array without mentioning the size of the array. So if we have to initialize an array, then this is the simple syntax that we have to follow. First write data type, then array name, square brackets equals to, and inside curly brackets we have to mention the values that we are initializing while creating the array. The number of datas that we enter inside the array will determine the size of the array. If we enter 5 values, then it states that a array can maximum store 5 datas inside it. So while initializing, we have to take care that the number of values that we are storing, that will create that particular size of that array. So this was the initializing process, what we can do while creating the array. Next we have is the memory representation of single dimensional array. We know that size of an integer data type is 4 bytes. So when an array is created, the array is given a particular memory depending upon which type of data type we are using. So if we create an array of size 5, then these 5 datas that we will store will be allocated some memory, and this each data will have memory of 4 bytes given. So in this example you can see, if we take these 4 values, then the index position would be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and these are the values that we are storing in our array, and this would be the memory address of this particular data. This is just an example I have taken just to show that first value will take 4 bytes, second value will again take 4 bytes, third value will again take 4 bytes, fourth again 4 and last again 4. So whichever data type we mention to the array, that particular data size array will be given in the memory address. We have to remember that index, that is location of the data in an array, always starts with 0. I have written over here, index represents position in array and it always starts from 0. So you have to always remember that position, or we can say the data which we have stored, whose location we have to take, will always start from 0. And the last index would always be 1 less than size of the array. If the size of array is 5, then our last index would be 5 minus 1, that is 4. This is the simple calculation that you have to remember while performing any action on an array. So this is the memory representation of single dimensional array. Next we will see is multi-dimensional array. How to write multi-dimensional array. In single dimensional, we were just writing one square bracket, but here we will write 2 square brackets. The first bracket will indicate the rows and the second bracket will indicate the number of columns in an array. Write it here or write it before array name. Both will do the same work. We just have to mention the size. Size did not be same in these both square brackets. It can be unequal also. 3, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 10, 9, 10, 2. So size is totally upon the programmer. It need not be same every time. But yes, it can be same as per the use that programmer wants. Now this is the example of multidimensional array where we are declaring an array of 5 by 3 and here 2 by 3. So whenever we represent an array in single dimensional, we generally mention this type of array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the index position of single dimensional array. But in case of multi-dimensional array, we will create the same matrix format of the array. It would be 5 rows and 3 columns. This is just a representation. These are the number of rows. Rows are always horizontal and these are the columns. Columns are always vertical. These are rows and these are columns. So this is how we represent a multi-dimensional array. And now looking into initialization syntax, it is the same as that of single dimensional array. We just have to make use of double brackets. If we have created an array integer of 3 by 3, array A is of 3 by 3 which we have created above, then this type of values will be distributed this way. So first will be inside first row and first column, that is 1. Then it will go to first row second column. This will go to first row third column. Now fourth will not go here. Fourth will go second row first column. 5 will go second row second column. 9 will go second row third column. 12 will go third row first column. 8 will go third row second column, and 10 will go third row third column. So when we have created 3 by 3 multidimensional array, then this is the arrangement of the data that we will be doing while initializing the values. So this type of array would be created. So we have to just make use of row and column while accessing the values that are initialized inside a multidimensional array. So this was about the initialization of multidimensional array. Now the next is the memory representation. So memory representation I already saw in the previous slide, that how we can do this memory representation. So it is simple. We have to consider the columns and we have to consider the rows. So first 0, that is of row, second is of column. So as and when we change the column, the values corresponding to it will be stored. Also, while initializing, we can also make use of double brackets. 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 9, comma 12, 8, 10. So this would be a better way to initialize the values. So now we can simply say that this is the first row values and these are the columns of this particular row. This is the second row and these are the different values of columns, and this is our third row and these are the different values of our column. So this is the simple memory representation, and this is how we can store the values in two-dimensional or multi-dimensional array. So this was all about what is array and what are the types of array. In next videos, I will be covering the different techniques and different programs based on arrays. If you have any query related to this video, then you can send your questions in the comment section. And if you have any other questions that you are not able to solve, then you can send your questions on my mail ID. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one.